All right, gang, it looks like we are live. Come on in, one and all. It is Turley time. That's right. As one of you wrote, thank you so much. Great to have you here. I hope you've had a wonderful weekend. I certainly have. It's been a beautiful weekend. Wow, we've got some amazing breaking news here. The dam is breaking for two former Democrat rising stars, once considered the kingmakers of the Democratic Party, New York Governor Andrew Cuomo and California Governor Gavin Newsom. It looks like they're about to fall. It really does. My, oh my, how the mighty are falling. So come on in, one and all. Great to see you from sunny, cool Southern California. It was at Spicy Dame. All right, we got some California. Make sure you go and you vote on that recall. It'd be great. Oh, thank you guys. Thank you so much. That's great to see all of you. Great to see you. All right. So we're going to be able to, we're not going to be able to say everything here that needs to be said on YouTube, but we are going to be able to take this conversation off of YouTube at some point, pick it up at my exclusive Q&A tomorrow night, February 22nd at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, to which you are invited. We hold these live online Q&As every Monday night and Thursday night, and they're exclusive for our Insiders Club members. As you notice, we've been putting up some interviews of late, and I thank you guys for those comments. A lot of you have said you really enjoyed the interviews because it's basically a deeper dive into some of these issues. Well, you get to interview me. You get to interview our special guest. We just had Andy No on from talking about his book Unmasked and his infiltration of Antifa. We've had David Horowitz, the conservative warrior for the last several decades. I don't want to make David too old. I'm sorry, a couple of decades. Daniel Miller of Texas Nationalist Movement. So all you need to do in order to participate in the live Q&A is to join our Insiders Club, because it's exclusive for our Insiders Club members. And all you need to do for that is just click on the link below and you can sign up. And as a special incentive, you're going to get your first week absolutely free. All right. You're going to get to try it out for a week before any payment, any obligation, anything like that. So you can ask me your questions and you can start interacting with international conservatives from all over the world. We've got thousands of them. You're going to absolutely love it. It's the best fellowship on the planet. I love them so much. So we like to think of our Insiders Club as sort of your backstage pass to the movers and shakers of the worldwide conservative movement. So make sure to take advantage of this week-long free trial. It's going to expire soon. So if you need to take advantage of it now, okay, don't wait. It's not going to be around much longer. So make sure to click on that link below, become an Insiders member with your first week absolutely free. Thank you, Golden Eagle. You're always so kind. Thank you, Golden Eagle. You mean so much. Get your first week absolutely free. This is a limited time offer, and I'll see you tomorrow night at 8 p.m. Eastern Time for our live Q&A. Ask me whatever you like. All right, gang. Wow. The political careers of two major Democrat kingmakers appear as of tonight dead. Now, let's start with Cuomo in New York. It's looking more and more the case that Cuomo's going to get impeached. Let me give you the latest from PG Media. Sorry. I said, no, it's PJ Media. I've got in my notes as PG. But anyway, movies. I don't know. New York State Democratic Assemblyman who was threatened with the destruction of his career by Governor Andrew Cuomo says that the legislature is inching toward beginning an impeachment inquiry against the governor. I don't know if you heard about this, but there's a fellow New York assemblyman by the name of Ronald Kim. He's a self-identified progressive socialist, far leftist. But he was actually the target of a series of screaming phone threats from Cuomo when Kim refused to retract his statement about the governor's cover-up of the number of deaths in nursing homes due to COVID-19, right? We're all on board with that. Yes, right. More and more New York lawmakers have been calling for Governor Cuomo's removal from office after, believe it or not, the New York Times broke this bombshell report that Cuomo's State Department of Health deliberately underreported COVID-19 deaths in nursing homes by as much as 50%. And what we had is thank you, Warren. Love to join, but I have no income. This was the last I have. You're very sweet, Warren. Very, very appreciated. Whatever. Hey, man, it's great just to have you here, man. Thank you so much. Believe me, I know what you mean. So in a newly leaked conversation, thanks, Philly girl. All right, Philly area. Excellent. That's where I am. Yeah. Steady Eddie's saying they're starting to eat themselves, and they are. I mean, that's something we're going to have to keep an eye on. But, leftist liberalism inevitably ends up eating itself. Woke culture ends up destroying itself. It starts canceling itself. It's really fascinating because the resentment politics, it just knows no bounds. So once you've unleashed this genie of resentment politics or wokeism, it's inevitably going to start turning on itself. But alas, what happened is we have a leaked conversation from one of Cuomo's top aides who admitted that data was deliberately withheld on nursing homes where more than 10,000 New Yorkers died from the pandemic. And so even the New York Times is reporting that it does appear to be a very significant cover-up on the scope of the death toll in New York nursing homes. And so Cuomo looks like he's at the center of this cover-up. And so more and more New York legislators are starting to line up calling for his removal. And also Rand Paul, the senator from Kentucky in D.C., he's calling for Cuomo's ouster as a result of this. And as of just a few days back, even CNN, right, who was leading the pro-Andrew Cuomo fawning last year when he was receiving, movie awards and everything, and his book accolades of how to lead during a pandemic. Even CNN is reporting now that there are growing calls for Cuomo's impeachment. And this is not coming only from Republicans. It's coming from Democrats like Ronald Kim. This is what he told Yahoo News of late. Juxtaposed cigars. Thank you so much. That's very, very kind. Very kind comment. Thank you. So here's what he said to Yahoo News. Again, this is Ronald Kim, self-described Democrat socialist, social democrat. Quote, "It will take a little time to build the consensus to finally impeach Cuomo, but every day we are inching toward the impeachment process." He said that there are right now between 25 to 30 Democrats who currently support an impeachment probe. Democrats currently hold 106 of the 150 seats in the New York chamber. So there's a way to go before a majority of the assembly would agree to an impeachment inquiry. But it seems, again, as Ronald Kim saying, we're inching toward the impeachment process more and more every day. And it gets worse for Cuomo. I don't know if you heard about this, but federal prosecutors in Brooklyn, as well as the FBI, are now investigating whether Cuomo obstructed justice by not being truthful with the Justice Department. This fellow Kim is sounding the alarm that Cuomo threatened him on the phone, that he threatened to destroy him in his political career unless he lined up, and backed Cuomo. And after that was made known, after that was made public by Kim, freaking de Blasio, right? The ultra-left mayor of New York, Bill de Blasio, came out and said, yeah, that's exactly what Cuomo does. Cuomo threatens people like a thug. That's what he does. Here's what he said. It was in an interview with MSNBC. Notice this is a war all just blowing up within all leftist circles here. So he's talking to the nuts over at MSNBC. De Blasio said, quote, "It's a sad thing to say, but that what Ronald Kim was complaining about, that's classic Andrew Cuomo. A lot of people in New York State have received those phone calls. The bullying is nothing new. I believe Ron Kim, and it's very, very sad. No public servant, no person who's telling the truth should be treated that way. The threats, the belittling, the demand that someone change their statement right that moment. Many, many times I've heard that, and I know a lot of other people in the state have heard that from Cuomo. It's just the script. It's exactly what a lot of us have heard before. It's not a surprise. It's sad. It's not the way people should be treated. Gang, these are Democrats piling on Democrats. They are coming out with their knives here. They're smelling a little Julius Caesar moment. And, you know, of course, you get rid of Cuomo, and then all these other Democrats get to run for governor next. So this is just too good. It really looks like Cuomo right now is politically dead. We'll see if he can pull off a miracle. I mean, anything can happen here. You don't get more of a Democrat machine than New York. But when you start hearing Democrats making noise here about getting rid of Cuomo, and keep in mind, Cuomo is not the only one who sent COVID positive patients into nursing homes. He's not the only one, right? You got Pennsylvania doing the same thing and so on. So I think if he falls, he may be the domino that knocks down, I think it was 3 or 4 other states that were doing it as well. So this is going to be fascinating to keep our eyes on in the days ahead. And it don't look so good for another rising star in the Democratic Party, and that's, of course, California Governor Gavin Newsom. Before we get into that, if you just joined us, hey, yeah, we got about 3,500 people here. If you just joined us, you are invited to our exclusive live Q&A tomorrow night, February 22nd at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. We're going to get into things much deeper there than we can get on this platform, of course. These live Q&As that we hold every week, Monday night and Thursday night, are exclusive for our Insiders Club members, which you can join by simply clicking on the link below. And for a limited time, you're going to get your first week absolutely free, no obligation. We'd love for you to stay a member, of course. You love networking with conservatives all over the world. We need that bonding and that fellowship right now more than ever, and you'll absolutely love it. So click on that link below, become an Insiders Club member with your first week absolutely free, and I'll see you tomorrow night at 8 p.m. Eastern for our live Q&A. I'm looking forward to chatting with you directly. All right, so it looks like it's all set. Gavin Newsom is going to face a recall vote. Organizers are, well, technically, I'll flesh this out as we go along. So organizers are within earshot of officially having the required 1.5 million signatures to force a recall against Newsom. They have until March. I think it's March 17th. Yes, March 17th. To get the 1.5 million signatures. And they have officially passed, as I understand, the 1 million mark last week. So this looks like it's a done deal. So this is from CNN. Again, CNN's having to report a lot of things they don't want to be reporting right now. CNN, the most trusted name in news. You ready? All right, ready for the most trust. I think with this, when it comes to the Democrat civil war, I think CNN could actually be rather trusted here. Leaders of the campaign to recall California Governor Gavin Newsom have now gathered more than 1 million signatures, according to a new report from the California Secretary of State's office that suggests the effort is still on track as they inch toward a March deadline to qualify for the ballot. Capitalizing on the frustration and anger among California Republicans and small business owners, it's not just Republicans and business owners, but we'll move on, about Newsom's restrictive stay-at-home orders last year, recall proponents say they have actually gathered 1.7 million signatures so far and are continuing to turn those into the county registrars around the state for verification. So if there's a little confusion on that, it's not hard. The organizers for the recall effort have claimed, they have announced they've gotten 1.7 million signatures. So we reported that one of our videos last week. But the Secretary of State is going through the vetting and confirmation process. So the official number at this point is just over 1 million. But organizers say they've surpassed the 1.5. They were actually going for 2 million just to kind of drive a stake in it. They only need the 1.5 million. All right, again, so this is from CNN. The most recent report from the Secretary of State is a lagging indicator of the progress toward ballot qualification because it only tallies signatures that California counties have received as of February 5th. And of those nearly 1.1 million signatures, the counties have only verified a portion so far. They have until March 17th, so they should be they should be fine. Again, this is CNN. If the recall effort qualifies, it's unclear what month the recall vote would land on California's ballot, because there are a series of bureaucratic steps that must take place at various levels of state government before the state's lieutenant governor could formally call the recall election. CNN has reached out to Newsom's office for comment, but apparently they did not respond. Now, of course, Newsom, of course, thank you. I just caught that. Oh, I missed it. It looked Chinese. Zhong, I'm sorry, I missed the name, but I want to give you a shout out. Thank you so much for the super chat. Thank you very much. Thank you for all you do. Newsom, and that's something to keep in mind. One of the coolest things about what we're doing here on YouTube and just on Alltech and in the Insiders Club, where we actually have, if you don't know, we have our own Facebook-like apparatus. So we have a Facebook group, membership group. But a lot of people didn't like, and I can fully understand, didn't want to sign up on Facebook or anything like that. So they joined our Insiders Club, but they didn't want to be a part of the several thousand that are on our Facebook group, and because we have several thousand more that are not on there. And so, several thousand. What is it now? It's, I guess, around 3,000 altogether. So what's happened is Hannah Owens, who's our star, she's the one who makes this channel work. Her and Ralph Cochran and all these others. I'm going to have to introduce the whole. There is a whole team behind these videos that makes Turley Talks work. They're unbelievable. I couldn't do this without them. But anyway, Hannah helped to put together an actual Facebook platform, Facebook-like platform. We're thinking of calling it Freedom Book or something like that. Facebook-like platform that our Insiders Club members have been beta testing, and they love it. It is awesome. You actually get to find members you could find where the closest members are to you, so you can hook up with them. And it's just the neatest thing in the world. So this is one of the coolest things that we're doing, because what you have to understand is when we're doing these things, if you think about it as some kind of graphic, I'm kind of at the center right now. Okay. So I'm the axis, right? And then you guys are all, hey, Iron Rider, thank you so much. What are the odds of a successful parallel society? Wow. See, these are the questions we'll talk about tomorrow night, because parallel societies come up a lot here. Check out my latest video. I don't know if you caught it. It's not latest, so it'll be one of the last 5, where I get into cancel culture is creating a parallel society. It's already happening. It's happening at a worldwide level. So that's what makes parallel societies so fascinating, is that it's not just here in the States. It's going on in India. It's called frontier innovators. That's the technical term for it, where entrepreneurs are basically creating a post-Silicon Valley, increasingly post-Google kind of world. It's so neat. It's so fascinating. And we're increasingly hooking up more and more with that world. And we'll be talking about that more and more as the days and the weeks and months ahead. It's one of the most exciting things we've been doing to get ready for 2022, is build a really strong conservative parallel polis, as it's called, a parallel society, parallel structure. It's thoroughly conservative, nationalist, populist, interacts with people from nations all over the world. So anyway, I think it's already happening is the answer. It's not something we have to wait for. It's actually more something we just have to learn how to plug into, the banks, you name it. So anyway, so if I'm at the center and if I'm at the axis and then you're the spokes, ironically, what scholars are noticing is that you could flip that image and then see yourself as actually at the center with lots of different spokes, because every one of you if you're on social media, you all have your own audience. Every single one of you has an audience. I don't talk to an audience. I talk to people with audience. And of course, your audience, each one of them has an audience. So in a sense, we're building this massive network of what are called parasocial relationships. That's a nice little phrase there, parasocial. So one of the reasons why a lot of us were so sad when Rush Limbaugh passed away is we really actually had a relationship with him. Now, it wasn't a personal relationship, unless maybe you did, maybe you knew him. It wasn't a personal relationship as if like a friend or family member. And it wasn't a totally distant relation like a movie star on a big screen. It was something in between. And that's what scholars call parasocial. He's not in your immediate flesh and blood relations, but he was a part of so many of our lives, daily lives, his voice and his mannerisms. We felt like we knew him, and we did. As scholars would say, we knew him in a parasocial kind of way. We are in a massive network of parasocial relations, bigger than any of us can imagine. And that's what's so cool about what we're doing. We're really building up an amazing world. And it's not a world where we just lecture each other, right? It's not a world where, I'm like, I don't know, Tom Brokaw, and I just sit there and I read the news to you and you just shut up and listen. It's a world where it's interactive. You and I are part of the news that we focus on. It's not like it's a news event being reported to us by some, authoritative lecturer here. We are actually bound up with the news, our opinions and our perspectives and the insights and the like. So that's what makes it so cool. And that's why I think, go full circle. That's why I think you're getting this recall effort just done so quick. I mean, they've gone another, almost 2 months to put it together. Month to put it together, right? And they require 1.5 million signatures. They have more than that, apparently 1.7 million. So Newsom looks like he's going to go down. Again, if you don't know, he was utterly humiliated when he was caught attending a birthday party that violated his own COVID-19 restrictions. The party was there's video pictures of the party being held indoors with masks. I believe, weren't there even some lobbyists there? I forget, but it was beyond the gathering limit of the 3 households together at a single time. It was a political disaster. It remains so. And with this whole latest round of COVID restrictions, it's just blowing the roof off his administration. He continues to preside over the collapse of California. If you don't know, according to the U.S. Census, every year for the past 15 years, California has averaged 100,000 Californians who have left the state as over and against those who have come in. So it's basically a leaky bucket at this point. And Newsom has only exacerbated the problem. And, a number of businesses are refusing to shut down and comply with the lockdown. They've just had it. So I think you're seeing a real full-blown rebellion going on in leftist California. So much so, you're reading articles that say California is ready to turn red. Now, it's not going to be an ideological red. It's not going to be a Texas red or a Florida red, right? Both those states are becoming more red, interestingly enough. Forget the whole purple nonsense. But they're becoming even more red. It's not going to be that kind of red, but it's going to be a very populist red. So if you can get some Republican leaders that tap into the people versus the political class sentiment that's just exploding. That's precisely what put Arnold Schwarzenegger as governor the last time, 2002, 2003, with Gray Davis and his recall. It's precisely that kind of sentiment. It's not conservative versus liberal. It's not Republican versus Democrat. It's the people versus the political class, right? Your ordinary Americans versus the oligarchs, the ruled versus the rulers. If the Republican Party can tap into that, man, California is ready to go. California is going to go red. How does that sound? Wouldn't that be cool? All right. So there you go. 2 major Democrat future presidential candidates appear to have fallen. They are both facing removal from office, and it's certainly going to be fun keeping an eye on how things develop here. All right, gang. Well, look, we were just starting to kind of touch on that, a little bit of a parallel society, or the whole notion that every audience member has an audience, and in this massive network society that we're creating is bigger than any of us could ever imagine. So anyway, we will talk more about that tomorrow night. I think you're really going to love our exclusive live Q&As. February 22nd, tomorrow night, 8 p.m. Eastern time. You have direct access to me where we can dive into things deeper, and you can ask any question you like. Now, these live Q&As are exclusive only for Insiders Club members, which you can join by simply clicking on that link below. And for a limited time, just to sweeten that deal, you're going to get your first week absolutely free, so you can join us with no obligation. Again, we'd love to have you stay, of course, a member. You'll love networking with the thousands of conservatives from all over the world. It's the best bonding and fellowship out there. So just make sure to click on that link below, become an Insiders Club member, get your first week absolutely free. And I will see you guys tomorrow night at 8 p.m. Eastern time for our live Q&A. And I love to interact with each and every one of you. All right, gang. Looking forward to it. God bless. Have a wonderful rest of your weekend. See you guys.